Hello and welcome to another edition of Sand Shark Bites. Winding down the season, just a couple more episodes left before this fall season gets away from us. I'm your host, Justin Jarrett, and joined as always by James Duffy, who for the second straight week does not have a clever nickname.
It's been pretty quiet in my life. There's not been a lot of material to make fun of me for.
I'm pretty off my game, clever nickname game right now. But yeah, we're back for another edition and a few things to talk about, quite a few things going on. Unfortunately, just timing-wise, one thing we can't talk too much about is Sand Shark soccer playoff prospects because we're in wait-and-see mode. As we tape this, about 45 minutes away from the make-or-break game, Southeastern against Ave Maria. We need Ave Maria. We're all Gyrenes today. We need Ave Maria with a tie or a win against Southeastern to get us into the playoffs.
The last 6 days or so have been a lot like the end of basketball.
Yes, yeah.
We need these people to win and lose, but if these tie and these win, then who's going to go ahead here? And then the head-to-head matchups versus the actual points, and it's a little too much for me to comprehend.
Yeah, it's a bit much, and we think we've gone through all the scenarios. Coach Ed and I were both going through them independently on whatever day that was, Saturday, after the loss to Thomas. And we think we've figured it all out that we have to get a win, a loss or a tie from either Weber or Southeastern, and Weber has already won today, so it's down to our last hope now. And it's unfortunate because we're going to tie for fourth place in the conference as far as points go, most likely with 15 points, but only the top 6 get in, and on the tiebreaker it looks like USCB may be the odd team out, depending on what happens this afternoon.
Yeah, and just to end our regular season with a note that in the future, if you get the chance to go and watch the game at SCAD when we have a game down there, that night game has always been a great game.
It's an awesome experience, it is, and we played fantastically in that game. Yeah. We really did. A 1-0 loss at SCAD last Thursday. Really a great match. We gave them quite a fight, and that's the team that, depending on their result today, is probably going to finish undefeated in the conference this year and win the regular season title. So a really strong effort there. The effort not quite as strong in the finale at Thomas. I know Coach Ed Heberling was pretty disappointed with the team's effort in that game. Unfortunate way to end the regular season and hopefully not end the season. You know, if that's the way it ends, that's unfortunate, but hopefully Ave Maria will come through and we'll be talking next week about a playoff game. You never can tell.
You never can tell. They ain't over till it's over.
It was a fun season. If this is the end, it was a fun season. The second half of the season was really exciting. The team rallied after that tough start. Easily could have packed it in and called it a year. And certainly not the case. Came back and won 5 conference games.
Never said die.
Never said die. Not once.
Beautiful thing.
No, it was a fun season. Enjoyed the team. They were exciting to watch late in the year, scoring a lot of goals. Unfortunately, maybe ending on 2 straight shutouts.
And a lot of youth on that team too. We're going to see a lot of these people come back next year. We're going to see some great soccer.
Yeah, and
2016.
If it is the end, it's tough that we won't see Alex Radu and Alexa Muffley and Pascal Roca and Emily Mentrup again. Did I miss any?
No, I think it's just those 4. Yeah.
That's been a fun group to watch. All but Alex have been here, for their entire career. Mm-hmm. So it's been really fun to watch them. Alexa, the all-time scoring leader, all-time goal leader. Alex had a great 2 seasons here. Phenomenal senior year.
And Pascal to end her senior year as goalkeeper for this team.
Pascal's kind of the heart and soul a little bit. Yeah. Just an awesome player, and like you said, converting to goalkeeper and playing so well this year. Emily, unfortunately, had a lot of injuries during her career, but was a solid player when she was able to be on the field as well. So if this is it for them, it was a good run.
It absolutely was, absolutely.
And speaking of good run, did you see what Emily Turner did on the back 9 yesterday?
Just hitting them long and straight and
making putts. That's the big thing.
A few putts there.
And a couple chips. She chipped a couple in as well.
As few as you can make, the better the game is.
That's right.
My bowling scores, my golf scores are real similar to one another. So when I watch other people play well and see what our players are doing out there, it's makes me feel bad for my abilities.
My golf game's pretty non-existent these days, but I got to live vicariously through the women on the course yesterday, and man, Emily Turner, she was a guest a couple of weeks ago on the show. She went crazy on the back 9 yesterday at Savannah Harbor, shot 4 under on the back, had 5 birdies in 6 holes, including 4 in a row, was just on fire. and the whole team really just had a great back nine, surged to a third-place finish. The two finished ahead of them, Kaiser and Scad, who are ranked number 1 and number 2 in the country. So a good showing for them, good note to end their season on. And we'll talk to Coach Alexis Bennett here on the show in a few minutes to get more from her. And I've been spending a lot of time with her, 2 days out on the course.
Yeah,
she has the best snacks.
She's a good person to hang out with. We like her a lot. She's done a lot, I think, for the athletics department as far as character goes.
Yes, absolutely. We enjoy her company, to say the least.
She's been on the show many times now.
And a loyal viewer. Gavin Grenville Wood was at the tournament as well. He came out, kind of sparked the back nine rally. As soon as he got on the grounds, we started making birdies. So I know he's taking some credit, and he's a loyal viewer. So we'll give him a little shout out. Shout out to Gavin, who watches us every week, and the men in action as well. And for one round, it was really good. The first round a little rocky, second round really strong, third round a tough day on the Blue Monster down at Doral. And I know you talked to some of the guys. Just a tough day yesterday.
Yeah, it was a difficult drop on that last day. I don't know if it was the weather or the just being too far away from home or something. I don't know what it was, but. No one was particularly pleased with that last day.
Yeah, I suspect it was a long ride home from Miami for Coach Danny Allen's
team. Long, quiet trip.
Long trip back. They did have that strong second round, and Gate Vates was in very good shape going into the final round and had a tough day. Little freshman learning experience for him, just finishing off the tournament because he was sitting really strong, even par through 2 rounds, but they'll get back on the horse next week. That's the good news, is they don't end their season on that. They'll get back out on the course Monday and Tuesday, I believe, or maybe Sunday and Monday.
I think it's something like that.
Sunday, Monday up in Western Carolina, Division I tournament, couple of D2s and NAIAs in there as well, but several Division I teams. So that'll be good competition for them. And
see senior Brad Curran leading the way for the men's team there.
Yeah, he kept it together. He's Brad's a consistent guy. He's been around the block a few times. He knows how to scrape it around out there even when he doesn't have his best stuff and put up a score. So good to see him do that. He's having a good year so far, and still a lot of hope for that team going into the spring. They've got some talent.
And seeing Judd Milam coming in a little lower than he would have liked to, I'm sure there was some cursing out there.
But he's a champion of character.
He is a champion of character.
I'm sure he did it under his breath.
Under his breath more than anything else.
Dadgummit.
I know.
So he's a Southern boy.
I know when the game's over, he's expressed himself very colorfully to me.
Judd knows the appropriate substitutions. He's a Southern boy. He knows how to say dadgum and galdern and all those. So
I do like watching and listening to him.
He's a character for sure. But how about the cross-country race? I know you didn't get to be there this year.
I was in St. Louis over the weekend at my dad's wedding, and that was great.
Congratulations to
thanks,
Pops.
yeah, and
your stepmom.
Yeah, and all those people, and it was great. And
what do you know? What do you know about cross-country?
Oh, what do I know about cross-country? How many teams do we have? 46 teams? 40?
We had about 40 teams.
40 teams?
Several of them didn't field the full team. So the standings wouldn't look like we had that many, 27, 29, something like that. But yeah, we had over 500 runners, close to 600 runners. Another huge race. Coach Larry Kimball does it big, and we had some stars.
We had 5 personal bests for the men's side.
On the men's side, yeah.
A lot of guys who haven't really shown up a lot. We haven't said their names much here, but that we have 5 guys who are really helping fill out the team.
Yeah, Josh Fitz is rounding into form, ran really well. PR for him. Dylan McMahon, Brandon Capers, Kira Durst.
Can you do it?
And those are 4. Who did I miss?
Joel
Norris, of course. How could I forget Joel? Yeah, he ran a PR. Joel's an awesome kid and inspiration. He's had some challenges physically, but in his life, but has turned into a really strong collegiate cross-country runner. So great to see all those guys do well. I know Nick O'Neill was disappointed in his time. Chase Rodas probably a little disappointed in his. Jack Manasotis, that stress reaction flared up a little bit around the 5K mark, and he didn't finish the race, unfortunately, but hopefully he'll be back good to go for conference. But the real star of the day,
the
star of the season is Betsy Douglas. And breaking news, we've already got her booked on next week's show. We've already got her booked. So
tune in for that.
5-time Sun Conference Runner of the Week, and the 3 times she didn't win it, we didn't compete that week. That's how good Betsy Douglas has been this year. She ran 17:50, 20 seconds faster than her previous school record that she owned. Just phenomenal. 3rd place out of 264 runners, and was beasting it out the last 100 meters or so.
I wish I could have been there. I was there for last year, and it was great to see all those runners out there. And I don't know how more people just aren't trampled to death.
Especially the starter.
Yeah.
This guy. Yeah. I don't know how this guy doesn't get it every year.
You'd think that somebody would run him down at some point, but it's a terrifying sight.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
it's
cool. Great.
But yeah, Betsy, phenomenal. Abigail Lackey PR'd as well. Jamie Thomas vomited out of her nose after almost running a PR. 17:49. I don't think she would
vomit. The never-ending vomit of a cross-country. Of a cross-country meet.
Yeah, I call it the splash zone right there in the chute beyond the finish line. But Jamie, probably 50 meters to go, it started coming, and she just kept sprinting. Just let it.
That's what you got to do.
Go where it may.
You got to go.
I hope we don't have people sitting at home reenacting the scene from Stand By Me.
Don't
right
eat this
now.
at dinner. Don't read this. Don't read this. Don't watch this.
The pie eating contest. But Jamie ran strong. She's closing in on that PR, and Rochelle Toth ran pretty well as well, and Cassie Beato, Domo Arigato, Cassie Beato.
Also graduating.
Now
right?
coaches
she's last year. Cassie's last year.
I believe so. Yeah. So now coach is beating the bushes. He's trying to find a couple more women to maybe improve that lineup a little bit. So if you're on campus and you can run a 5K in under 23 minutes or so, go knock on coach's door.
How close are you getting to that?
Spot on the van for you.
When are you?
I'm about 27.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about 27 on my 5K.
I'm driving about that fast now.
Yeah. It's been a few days.
But all the high school meets are pretty much done now. So any recruiting that we've had going on is.
I don't know that much about the recruiting trail. I try to stay out of that until papers are signed and all that stuff. I don't want to get too excited about anybody who doesn't end up here. But yeah, it's an exciting time of year. Everything's coming to a close, and hopefully not just yet for soccer. We'll find out soon enough. But cross country winding down. They'll have their Sun Conference Championship November 7th down in Lakeland, Florida. So that'll be exciting, and then hopefully send quite a few people up to Charlotte for nationals a couple weeks later. Women's golf done, men with one more event, and lo and behold, we'll be
talking softball and baseball here soon.
Into the winter.
Yeah.
We'll go into hibernation for a couple months, and
we do already have
the
softball hitting fundraiser. Is that this weekend?
The baseball and softball both are doing their hit-a-thon.
Okay.
That's going to be on Friday, the 30th. I believe one of them's at noon and one of them's at 2 out in Hardyville. That's always fun. Kids dress up in the student athletes dress up in costumes.
Well, the older you get, the more like kids they seem.
They are kids.
And
they're very much
you're
kids.
getting old.
And I'm an old man.
I mean, just falling apart.
Getting shiny up on top. But I was running strong. I trained all year for that cross country race. I ran over to my photo taking spot with vigor and had plenty of
youthful verve that you.
I had plenty of lungs for it.
Outstanding.
Yeah, much improved from a year ago. So anyway, that's
that's our tangent for today.
Let's wrap that one up. That gets you up to speed on what's happening with USCB athletics. Let's talk a little bit more about women's golf and their great finish at the NAIA Fall Preview. Coach Alexis Bennett joins us on the show right now. Joined now on Sand Shark Bites by Coach Alexis Bennett. And, Coach, we've been spending a lot of time together lately. Women's golf team in action the past couple of days over in Pooler at our home away from home, Savannah Quarters Country Club. And a good couple of days, although a little bit of a roller coaster ride for sure, but it finished on a great note. That back nine on Tuesday, phenomenal. There was a lot of high-fiving going on, a lot of good times were had, and a third-place finishing behind the top 2 teams in the country. So a nice way to wrap up your fall season.
Yeah, obviously we finished sort of where we were projected to finish based on the rankings, but still a lot of great teams there, packed with some top 25 teams. I think you said 8 or 9 were in the top 25, so still a lot of work to get to where we should have placed. So still very proud of the girls. Yeah, like you said, both days kind of got off to a pretty rough start and had to fight back, which is kind of what this team's MO is. I joked with a couple of them at the turn yesterday that I wish I had some Europeans out there when it started pouring rain. So was fortunate to have 5 girls that play in that all the time. And if it starts pouring rain, they get their whole setup up, they get their umbrellas out, their rain jackets are on, and they were just ready to go to work, and we really had a strong finish, obviously led by quite a few birdies by Emily.
Yeah, Emily was on fire. We got to see a little bit of it. We were kind of ducking in and out on some of the players, but Emily Turner, who was on the show a few weeks ago and did a fantastic job in her U.S. television debut, did just a phenomenal job of rallying on the back nine. 4 straight birdies. That's where most of the high fives came in. 5 out of 6 holes she birdied and almost made another one at number 18. You know, you talked a little bit about that she didn't like that course coming into this weekend, and I'm sure that has changed. It's going to be a great confidence booster for her.
Yeah, she really had a monkey on her back coming in. She had been talking about not looking forward to seeing Savannah Quarters. Still had a great attitude about it, was going to take on whatever was given to her, but had been our drop score all 4 days at Nationals last year. So, the first day, kind of get the monkey off the back was sort of just to break 80, get into a rhythm. She struggled a lot with putting 2 good rounds together last year. So that was just a big relief for her to just get that 79 in there, get it out of the way, and really know that she could play some good golf. And then obviously, on the back nine, she'd played pretty well on the front, and sort of an even keel 2 over on the front, and then just sort of really got in the flow, got into playing with her instincts, and just saw the shot and hit it, and didn't think technically, which she does a lot of times too, and she tends to get in her own way, and just really saw the golf that she's very capable of. It didn't even look like the round that it was. It just really looked like it was who she was instead of this phenomenal thing.
And in true Emily fashion, she kind of played it off like, didn't kind of scraped it around today, didn't hit the ball too well, but got her share of luck, which always helps. Had a couple chip ins and made some putts, and that's all the difference. She and Franzi Noach, both Knoch, I never know how to pronounce it. Franzi, both with all tournament team performances, and Franzi has been just rock solid, just as consistent as can be.
Yeah, she really is our anchor. If there's one player that I can just kind of count on for a good score, it's always Francie. So I definitely don't want to take her for granted. She's just always right there for us, and we couldn't have some of the scores and finishes that we do without Francie. But also knew that Emily had some of that anchor potential, and I think I've said that a couple times that I've been on this show, is that I really just thought that she had the game to be right there with Francie and have the 2 of them duking it out. And this was sort of what I've been talking about, is to have 2 in the top 5 of a 95-person field is where we really should be and can continue to be into the spring. So it was a great finish to the fall, and definitely expect to see more things like it in the spring.
And Vanessa Schloh and Moa Christensen also played very well on that back nine too. So an awesome finish, and you'll pick right up where you left off. You're going right back to Savannah Quarters in February for the Armstrong tournament. Just got to see as much of that place as you can before national championships.
Yeah, it really makes a lot of sense to head back there. It'll be a tough D2 field, so again, some quality teams on a golf course that we're gonna be playing the most important event on. We don't get many opportunities to play nationals so close to home, so to be able to sleep in our own bed and see the golf course 10 or 12 times before the national championship, by no means is gonna hurt us.
Yeah, and it's a great place for you fans to come out and watch too. So keep an eye on the schedule. You have the dates on that one yet? February.
I don't have the exact dates. End of February.
Check the website, uscbathletics.com. Check out the schedule and get over to Savannah Quarters in February. See your USCB women's golf team, number 9 in the country, and hopefully moving up from there. Thanks for being on the show again, Coach.
Thanks a lot.
Be right back with more here on Sand Shark Bites.
At the University of South Carolina, Beaufort, we offer small classes, individual attention, and an affordable education in an atmosphere that fosters diversity and achievement.
We are students.
We field 9 Sand Shark sports teams that compete in the Sun Conference.
We are athletes.
We are one university with 2 campuses serving the coastal areas of South Carolina and Georgia.
We are the Low Country.
We are the fastest growing 4-year school in the University of South Carolina system. We are USCB.
All right, well, I have it on good authority that Coach Bennett's hair was on fleek today, according to one of her players. So congrats on
having that
not
one,
only a third place finish, but also an on fleek hair day. It's good stuff. You heard it here first, folks.
There you go.
Breaking news. some of the conversations we have off camera, I hope they're being archived for posterity. Someday it's going to go in some kind of a
gag reel.
Yeah,
staff
time
party.
capsule, something like that. It's good times. That's where the real entertainment is. Well, it's time to wrap up another episode. You know what that means. It's time for the official Sand Shark Bites Athlete of the Week. And Emily Turner made a late charge. She was trying to do some damage on the back nine yesterday, and if that putt on 18 falls, it might have made things more difficult. But I think you know where we got to go. We hyped her up.
One choice. You break a record.
22nd school record, 5th Sun Conference Runner of the Week honor. And, we want to make sure that she's happy with this, so she'll follow through on her booking for next week's show. Betsy Douglas, you're the Sand Shark Bites Athlete of the Week. Once again, maybe the third time
At
this
least,
year?
yeah.
At least. We try to spread it around.
We'll have to look at it again.
This girl's busting down the door, man.
We'll have to check the official logbook.
And a great kid, too, let me tell you. I got a nice email from her on Saturday afternoon after the race, just thanking me for being out there and for running around taking pictures. And that's just the kind of kid Betsy is. She's very appreciative of every opportunity she's given. Just talked to her this morning, and she was just chipper as always, and looking forward to seeing her hopefully win a Sun Conference championship and become an All-American, because that's the kind of talent she is, and she's worked hard for it, so happy to see it pay off for her. Well, that's going to do it for us for another episode of Sand Shark Bites. We are going to be back next week, do it one more time with Betsy, and then maybe one more after that.
I have to have a season wrap-up of some kind.
Do some
well,
kind of
maybe there'll
wrap-up.
be soccer still to talk about.
We'll also have the drunk history episode.
The drunk
coming up.
history episode,
so,
sure.
So that one's coming up, but we're kind of indefinite right now as far as the ending point for this fall season. But we'll definitely be back next week. We hope you will too. Until then, keep those fins up.
Yeah,